Hi guys, just wanted to touch base with you. There was a change in how we are clocking in and out for training that took place, I believe it was sometime last week, but it really wasn't ready for deployment. So I'm going to walk you through what it's going to look like for now until ICM can kind of finish flushing this part out for us. So right now I'm in my test guy, Abraham Lincoln. So I'm gonna go up to his name and I'm gonna do a clock in. And I'm gonna clock in for a trainee. My standard job code is FLA for this person. And then here you have two options. And this is kind of what we're working on right now. So for now, for the time being, you're gonna pick one or the other. And I'm just gonna kind of break this down so that you kind of understand this. For general, these are sort of our in-class trainings. This is your CPR, first aid, MANT. If you go to Dimensional and you did CMT training or skills training, anything like that where it was a scheduled class, that's where you're going to select general. Now, say as Abraham Lincoln, maybe I went to a MANT class. I'm going to select general. For right now, I do not have to pick any training titles. This is what is going to kind of need to be corrected on ICM's end for now. You do see the options here, but you do not have to pick them. And I'm going to ask that you don't pick them for right now until we kind of figure this out with ICM and how this is going to communicate to our payroll system correctly. So as long as I hit general, I won't be required to select any trainings. Now, the other option would be in-house. And this would be any person-specific training. So this could be, maybe I'm a new hire and I'm shadowing for the next week or so. So my time in ICM is going to show up as training, and this is going to be an in-house training. This is also, if the nurse were to come out to the house and need to train you on a specific skill set for a certain person, you could say it's in-house. Also, if it was a house meeting or anything like that, that's not a scheduled class, you would be marking in-house. The wording in-house also applies to our support services and our meaningful day. So anytime any of those staff are also trained on any person-specific skill set, something that's not taught in a classroom, I'm learning, maybe it's the plan of care, maybe it's a behavior plan, maybe going over their PCP, whatever that may be, that's person specific, and it's not scheduled in a class, that's when we're going to click in-house. Again, you do not have to pick anything here. What is going to eventually populate for us is going to be a list of all of the locations that you have access to, as well as a list of all of the people that you have access to. And this is just going to give us the ability to kind of drill this down in saying, maybe I did an in-house training and it was specific to, we'll say, Allen Drive. And it was just an overall house training. It wasn't specific to anyone. So then I can just pick that location and say I was at Allen Drive for an in-house training. If your personal supports or your meaningful day or anything like that, and you need to narrow it down even further, I did a person-specific training, or in this case, in-house, on Donald Duck. Then I would be able to come in here, that person's assigned to me, and I can go ahead and select that person. That way we can see exactly what it was that you were trained on and who it was that you were trained on. But for now, just like the general, if you do any in-house training or person-specific training, you're just going to select in-house and you're not going to select anything else, okay? So for Abraham Lincoln, I'm going to say, again, I took a MANT class. It's a general class. That's a scheduled class. I went to a class for this, and I'm going to go ahead and just clock in. It's not going to make me pick a training or anything like that, okay? And I'm just going to show you really quick. I'm going to clock out of this. If I go into, actually have to clock out. If I go into clock in for an in-house training, again, not going to make me pick anything. Okay, so this is a person-specific training. I'm going to go ahead and clock in. Again, it doesn't ask me to pick a class. So for now, what we are asking you to do until we work this out with iCare Manager and get a little more sort of understanding of how this system's going to work for us. I'm just asking that you either pick general or in-house for your training, okay? And then when you go to your time card, it's gonna look just like it has been looking, to be honest with you. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this pay period and say generate the report. And it's going to show up as training. Eventually, it's going to kind of narrow that down a little bit more for us, especially for supervisors, so that you guys can see if it was an in-class or general training, in which case our training coordinator typically goes in and kind of verifies the time, and she's the one that approves that time. And then it's also going to narrow it down to say, you know, this person did a person-specific or in-house training at this house, at this location, or with this person. And that way supervisors can see, oh, this wasn't an in-class training, so I'm going to be responsible for going in and approving that time for that kind of training. So that's eventually what it's going to be. I do apologize that this kind of got launched before we were ready, and really before the capabilities in the system was ready. We were not aware that it was going to go live at this time. So for now, we are just asking you, when you clock in, again, pick either general or in-house. Don't pick a specific training after that. Just general, in-house, clock in, clock out, okay? If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.